Chuck Jeannes, CEO of Goldcorp, joins me now at the BMO Metals and Mining Conference. Chuck, so good to speak with you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
How's the conference been for you?
It's been great. It's an opportunity for us to come down and meet with a lot of investors in a short period of time. So it's a bit of speed dating, but it's important. Gives us a chance to update them on what's going on.
Good description. It is like speed dating. But let's start by talking about your Q4 earnings. 2.3 billion impairment charges at Argentina's Cerro Negro mine, and an annual net loss of 2.16 billion. Tell us how you see Goldcorp set up as we kick off 2015 here.
Yeah, well, certainly you're never never happy about having an impairment like that, but it results from us buying the asset at a time when you weren't able to anticipate the financial conditions that we've seen in Argentina with the very significant inflation for several years without a corresponding peso devaluation. So it has eroded the economics a bit of the project. But the project's still very sound, lowest quartile in cost, and this was a non-cash charge to our balance sheet. In terms of our actual earnings and cash flow for the quarter, we made $350 million of cash. The operations are doing very well. And you ask, I'm very excited about the future. I mean, as we look in 2015, we'll be having lower cash costs and higher production. And you combine that with basically the end of all of our capital spending building these new mines, and we'll be generating free cash flow.
Well, I guess the question that people want to know is, were you giving up on Argentina after these numbers?
Oh, not at all, not at all. Cerro Negro will be a long-term cornerstone mine for us. I think about it the way I do our Alumbrera mine in Argentina. And when it was built, there was the financial crisis in 1999, 2000 in Argentina, and there was a lot of angst about what that might mean. And over the long term, Alumbrera has been a very successful, profitable asset. So, we have to look at these things with the long term in mind, and we'll get through these issues in Argentina. I'm confident of that.
But you had record production in 2014, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the Eleonore project in northern Quebec.
Well, Eleonore is our second new mine that we brought on late last year, and it will be a fantastic mine. It'll be one of the largest gold mines, if not the largest in Canada when it's fully ramped up. And Eleonore is just a great asset. We've got a high-grade vertical dipping ore body, so it takes a while to ramp up. We won't be to full production there until 2018. Okay. But it's a beautiful mill. It's running well. Had a few startup issues in the end of the last year, but those are all resolved now. So,
how many people are you expecting to employ there?
Right now, we've got about 2,000 on site. That'll come down. A few of those are working on the remnants of the construction, of the initial construction. But long term, it's in that 1,500 to 1,800 range. Okay. So a lot of good, high-paying jobs in Quebec.
Now, when you were on Kitco News last, you mentioned how you were taking advantage of gold's lower price environment, and it was working to Goldcorp's advantage. How are you positioned now, given the current gold price environment?
Well, I think we're in a very strong position. We have the only BBB+ rated balance sheet in the business. We have the opportunity to take advantage of the ability to take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. And an example of that is our acquisition of Probe Mines that we announced just last month, and that should be closed in early April. And it's a nice deposit near our Porcupine mine in Ontario. And so we'll continue to be opportunistic.
Do you think a supply crunch could be in the cards for the mining industry?
Absolutely. My presentation yesterday, I presented some data basically supporting what we call peak gold, and that is that the mining industry will never produce as much gold as it does this year. And even when we get to the end of the year and look back, it may have been in 2014. But if you look at the supply fundamentals going forward, there is declining supply, and that's because there's been a dearth of new, high-quality, large discoveries in our business. And so we're expecting lower supply going forward, and that'll be positive for the gold price.
Will you be looking for new projects, new acquisitions this year?
We always look. Yeah, you know, we're in the business where things become available as in their own time, and so we have an active corporate development department that keeps an eye out.
What criteria do you like?
Well, we want to. It's got to be gold. We're a gold company. We look at, most importantly, the value and whether it can be acquired at a price that will provide a strong return for our shareholders. But we like the quality of the asset, low costs. We look for jurisdictions that are relatively low political risk. And you know, depending upon whether it's near one of our existing assets where we can use infrastructure, then the size isn't as important. But if it's a standalone, it's got to be a sizable deposit, so it'll be a cornerstone asset for us.
Finally, Chuck, I think we'd appreciate hearing from you what you feel the sentiment's like for the mining industry this year. Do you see a difference from last year?
I do. Clearly, we have been an underperforming sector in terms of financial investment. Someone told me yesterday that since 2011, gold mining stocks are down on average around 90%, whereas the S&P is up 100%, and they've never seen that big of a difference. And so the contrarian investor, the value investor who looks for opportunities is here this week, and we're talking to them, and I think that's very positive for our sector.
What would be needed for a turnaround?
I think, you know, we've recognized some of the problems of the past where as the gold price went up, we as an industry allowed our costs to go up almost in step with the gold price, so the margin growth didn't happen that our investors were looking for. We recognize that. I'm confident gold price will go up again and fairly soon, and I think the industry will do a lot better job of providing the returns that our investors are looking for, and that's what it will take.
Well, on that note, I wish you continued success. Best of luck with Goldcorp. And thanks for watching our coverage here from the BMO Metals and Mining Conference. We'll have more for you, so stay tuned to Kitco.com. Thanks for watching.